Now, what's your name?
Cleotra Tanner.
Cleotra Tanner.
Right.
Okay. And what did you see when you had your sighting of the goat killer or whatever it was?
Okay. My wife and I was in the bed. It was around 8:30. And the dogs, in fact, we don't have a single dog in all of them gone, but we had 8 puppies and 2 grown dogs. And they were keeping us so much noise, my wife got up and went to the window on the west side of the house, in the bedroom. And when she looked at me, she said, what is this? She said, come look, I don't know what these are. What this is, rather. So I'm thinking it's some kind of big old coon or something, so I eventually get up and go look, and I never saw anything like that before. It was one big animal. I guess he was about waist high to me.
Okay.
And he was probably in length, I would say, in a ballpark, about 5 feet in length.
In length. Okay.
In length. His lower paw was down. His front paw was down. He had a rainbow type back, but they never held their head above this high above the ground. And
yeah, you mean a rainbow? You mean color-wise, or
no? I'm talking about the shape, the body shape.
Yeah.
And they never had their head up. And even when the dog get that close to them, they would chase the dog for a few steps, but they never held their head up. So a few minutes later, another one came out the weeds, and both of them were slick-skinned, very slick-skinned, and they had a brown, what I would call a brown patch on their right shoulder. And we stood there about 10 minutes, maybe looking out the window. Then something, I finally realized my gun was right beside me. So by the time I got my gun and got out the back, they had went back in the weeds. And to show you how well we saw, there's a high density street light in my backyard. They were between the light and the house. So we got a good look at whatever it was. A very good look.
Now, were they on all fours, or were they?
It was on all fours.
All fours, okay. Well, did they have the appearance of a canine, or like a dog, or did they have the appearance of something else?
Something I wouldn't call it a dog.
Not a dog.
I would not call it a dog. I don't know what it was. It wasn't a bear. It wasn't a deer, as some people said. It wasn't a mangy coyote, as some people have said. And it wasn't a dog. It was much bigger than any dog I ever seen. I never saw a dog with a rainbow-shaped back, with
an arch.
Right, the arch back.
Yeah.
And I never saw a dog that held his head that low to the ground, that never looked up.
Well, how much would you say it weighed, just your guess?
Wow. If I had to guess, it weighed over 200 pounds.
Over 200, that's pretty big.
Over 200 pounds. But the other part about it is their backs, the body shape wasn't about this wide. It wasn't a huge, fat animal. It was
thin.
It was a thin type animal.
Did it have a tail?
I did not see a tail.
Okay.
I did not. I'm not saying it didn't have one. I didn't see one because I was sort of shocked at seeing what I was seeing. The neck was about longer than average anything you've ever seen, and the head was sort of long too.
Did it have ears that you could see?
I did not see an ear.
That's strange.
I did not. And he probably had it, I'm not sure, but I was just amazed at this animal, this hairless animal, with this brown spot on it, the way he was made, and when he would attempt to go, when the dog would get like 2 feet of him, he would take about 3 steps towards the dog, and the dog would run. And we were standing there trying to figure out, what are these things? We never saw this before. And I'm 64 years old. I never saw this on a movie.
Well, do you think that's the same thing that got your goats?
Same thing.
Now, did you see any tracks out there later on? You go out and look for tracks?
I called the police department, the sheriff department. They came out it was on Friday night. They came out that Saturday morning. We went back there, and We saw split hoop tracks that seemed to have claws in them. But you know, maybe deers have been walking around, they were stepping the same track. I don't know though.
But they seem to have claws.
They seem to have claws.
Yeah. That's what I would call a cryptid. You ever heard that word, cryptid?
Definitely a cryptid.
A cryptid is any animal that has not been duly discovered. It hasn't been documented. A hidden animal is what crypto means. A cryptid animal would be an animal that's hidden. People see them occasionally here and there, but nobody's ever gotten good enough footage or good enough proof that they could put it in a textbook.
But now my neighbor, she lived down the street. She lived in Jackson. She bought this house, we were renovating it. And she stayed here on weekend, and she called me Saturday night. She got away, her and her granddaughter went to Walmart. And when she got back home, she called me. She said she had just saw one of a little way from her house that went back on the bow side.
Okay, now that you're looking back toward a creek back that way, right? So do you think probably that creek is what they were traveling?
I'm pretty sure that creek is what they were traveling.
What's the name of that creek?
Jackson Bayou.
Jackson Bayou. Okay, and does it go into the river anywhere? Or?
Well, it get down here and spit up and go around and spit up and go to the moat plant and go toward us over.
And back this way, it runs into Sky Lake.
That's a big lake.
It's a
Sky Lake?
Sky Lake,
Oh, that's interesting.
It runs around to Sky Lake.
Sky Lake.
But we've actually had some occurrences up at Sky Lake.
Really?
Yeah, sure have.
Okay.
I could show you some pictures. I didn't bring them with me though, but we're you know, it's pretty strange goings on up in that area.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are only about 3 miles maybe from Sky Lake.
Oh, really? You know, I was I'm interested in Indian mounds, and I was going to an Indian mound up there. They call it Inverness Mound, but it's actually closer to Isola.
Right.
It's a big old mound, and you have to cross a field about a mile and a half to get to it. And on the way over there, I was making my way along the lake. I got to that lake. Something hollered at me. It sounded like an eagle scream, you know, like an eagle screech, but it was way too long to be a bird. You know, it had a lot of lungs behind it. And when I heard this had happened, that kind of came to mind, you know, because when I went down there and took video of the mound, and I was walking back, there was a polecat laying there in the road where I had just been, with his guts hanging out. And something had killed this thing after I walked by, and had killed him so fast that he hadn't sprayed. Wow. You know, his guts were hanging out. So I'd always kind of stayed with me there, you know. And when I heard this had gone on, I said, well, maybe there's something that follows these creeks, you know, creeks and lakes. It's kind of an edgy thing to know that something like that's out there, you know, that will tear your goats and your hogs up.
If you saw it, you would never forget it. And you know, I get pretty sick and tired of people telling me what we didn't see. And I'm not trying to convince anybody or what I saw, but I know what I saw.
Well, let me ask you this: if you go every day and get in your car, you drive to town or drive here and there, you trust your eyes, don't you?
Right.
Your eyes tell you when to go out into the highway, when not to.
Right.
And everything's based upon what your eyes tell. Why stop? Because you saw something unusual. You know, it's the same eyes. You saw something strange, but you can't identify, and that's just the bottom line.
My poor wife, before the dogs left, and like I said, all the dogs gone. Before the dogs left, every time they would bark, she would jump up and run to the window.
Let me turn the camera over here to Dennis, and let me get a statement from him. Let me get it set right. All right, now tell me what you found Well, just tell me at the beginning about your hogs. And that's been how long ago?
1 year ago.
1 year ago,
Yeah,
about this time of year.
Yep, 18 hogs.
18 hogs.
Yep.
That's a big loss for you, isn't it?
Yep. Cut all them head off. Gut them. Took the gut and blood. They eat no meat.
So the guts were gone, the heads were gone.
The head was there.
The head was there.
They ain't food the head.
But the head was just removed.
All the way off.
All the way off.
Wasn't nothing hanging on it.
Decapitated.
All the way.
And you didn't find a lot of blood.
With no blood.
No blood.
No blood. They cut them open, suck all the guts, everything out of it.
And then you didn't have any more problems until this year.
This year.
And tell us about the problems you had this year.
3 hogs. Head cut off, guts gone. No blood. Then I went to my goat pen, all of them head cut off.
How many?
9.
9 goats.
9 goats. Cut open, all the guts gone, no blood.
But were you raising the goats like to sell, or were you
I was
just
raising them.
raising them? Okay.
Yep,
So
I had
it's a
9.
financial impact on you.
Yep,
Yeah.
lost every one of them. He left one, he cut the throat and he was still living, but the next day he died. And it made all the horses jump out of the pen.
Now, how many horses did you have in there?
4.
4, and they jumped out of the
They
pen.
jumped up out of there.
Now, I've got some video on my phone that shows the height of that fence. They were pretty desperate to want to get out of there. They hadn't jumped it before, had they?
No.
No. Okay.
They never jumped it. They have no idea of jumping that fence. But they jumped it that time.
Well, are you interested in getting some cameras up, maybe?
Yeah. I need to find somebody to put some cameras up. I need cameras everywhere.
Camera can't stop them, but it might help you to find out what it is for sure.
I need to find out what it is.
Yep.
Then this year I hit it. I hit one of them in my truck up the road. I hit it real hard. I thought I had to keep me a deer. So I got out and looked. That scoundrel got up and jumped straight up. Hit them weeds. I ain't seen him. He's gone.
Did it run off on all 4s?
No, it was on 2.
On 2 legs.
Yeah, he jumped.
Now,
I thought I had it.
what can you tell me about that you saw of him? Did you see the face?
Well,
or
I just seen his teeth. When he got up, I seen the teeth, and when he jumped,
how would you describe his teeth?
they were long, sharp.
Long and sharp. In the
I
jump.
seen his mouth and stuff.
Yeah.
He didn't holler now. He
Did-
didn't holler. That's when I thought I had to keep me a deer.
He didn't make any noise.
No noise.
What
You know,
co-
that's the strange thing about out there. And their dogs were barking and they chased dogs and never made a sound.
And that thing made no sound.
They make a sound.
Well, I hit it.
Now, was this one? There was this one bare skinned too?
Yeah, but Nick didn't have no skin on.
No skin on it.
And I hit it hard. It looked like it should be some blood somewhere.
So it was slick skinned.
Yeah.
Could you? I know it was night, but could you see it well enough to tell exactly what color the skin was?
All I know is just like got the mange.
Yeah.
Like brown, like.
brown looking skin. Did it look crusty? Like mange, you get kind of crusty.
Yeah. But it looked like I should have knocked some blood or something loose. Hard I hit it because I was running around about 45 miles an hour.
Yeah, that is odd.
I hit it real hard. I hit him hard enough for him to lay down for a long time. He didn't lay down.
He jumps up
On 2 legs.
on 2
hopping on
legs
weed.
and he hops.
Yep.
No, he don't run like bop bop bop.
No,
but he
I ain't
hops.
seen him run. He just hop. When he hop, you got no weed. It's still gone.
Evidently, they don't run fast because when they chase the dog, the
Bad move. I know he just hopped on no weed.
didn't have any trouble getting away from them. So evidently, they
Yeah.
don't run fast.
Well, years ago, this happened quite a few years ago. I was in Louisiana, and I saw it was on a Bigfoot hunt, and somebody shot at one of the Bigfoot way down in the creek bottoms, and I was up at the camp, and they hollered for me to bring more lights. So I was bringing lights down there, and something ran across in front of my truck, no further than about 15 feet. I mean, right there, it's tall grass, but it was similar as what you described. It was no match found for it. It had an arch back, no tail, funny looking ears, kind of oval shaped head, and I'm convinced that it was running real low, keeping a real low profile. But I'm convinced that it was running as a result of that shot. You know, that it was frightened and it was moving on out of the area fast. But I don't know, you know, it certainly wasn't a Bigfoot like you would describe, like the little film shows, you know, that they show on TV. It was something that could get on all fours, but it had long back feet, and you could see that it could stand up.
Oh, you seen that?
Yeah.
You know, I believe from we did get a look at the back feet. I believe not, and again, this is me now. I'm putting my twist on it now. I believe they can't stand on their back feet.
Now that's based upon what?
On what I saw, the way how long their feet are, and just the muscles. Because the ones that we saw seemed to be pretty much pure muscle.
Yeah. You saw a lot of muscles on it.
A lot of that's all you see, pure muscle.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Now, did it shake you up? Did it scare you?
It's hair raising. I put it that way. It's hair raising. My wife's still scared.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to see something like that. Yeah.
It is. But
let me stop things just a minute. This battery's about to go out. Let me get a battery out of here.
Well, do y'all have dogs to hunt stuff like that?
Here we go.
And he'll let us know if they come around. That's for sure.
But
just before you turn it back on.
Okay.
Clisarius, come here. We have a high density street light in our backyard, and like I said, they were between the light and the house. It's not like they were behind the light.
Yeah.
They were between the light and the house. They're not scared. I can put it that way. They're not scared.
That seems kind of odd that something would be that bold, yet people don't see them. You know, they're rare. But apparently they're not that rare around here, because you saw them and he saw them.
Yeah.
He lost animals to them.
Second time.
Yes, 2 times, and then he struck one. So, what do they have here in the way of cover? Besides the creeks, I mean, do they have any tree forests? Any large blocks of trees?
Right across the field over there is a large block of woods.
Back over that way. But he got to be traveling behind his house to go get to my house.
The further you go back this way, around that way, it's really, really thick, and it's some woods out there.
Patch around in there.
Yeah. So,
and then, you know, a lot of people be hunting out here. They'll never run them up.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. They
look like they have their hunt dogs out there. They don't never run them up. Look like somebody should be able to see them again.
It's like it. You would think, but you know, they didn't take any meat off the animals. They just took the guts. Well,
guts and blood.
Well, the guts, like liver, is soft, easy to eat, full of nutrition. So is the kidneys, the heart. You know, even the eyes. The eyes are full of nutrition. They don't have to tear at it, you know, to get all that out. Just open the guts up. Yeah, it's so they probably it's similar to somebody stealing watermelons and eating them in the field.
Eating the middle.
You know, you just go for that heart
and
bust another one. You know, that's my guess. But sometime whenever things dry a little bit, and if you don't have any more incidents, I'll bring some game cams out if you like, put out. You don't have any animals except for your horses, and you got some hogs, don't you?
Yeah.
We'll put one on the hog pen.
I would like for you to put one back here, because I believe they traveling
Along that creek, yeah.
this creek.
Right, I will do that. We'll see if we can't, get something in the way of evidence.
We need a roll call.
It's tough on a person to have a story to tell like that, and then he doesn't have any way of conveying that imagery.
The cuts, were they like a scalpel or were they like something ripped it out?
They're like a knife. No scars or nothing. Ain't never been no scars. That's what I don't understand. How can you cut it off? A hog head.
I don't know the answer to that.
I'm talking about they cut them. Don't leave no skin.
Now you said that y'all did have some pictures.
Yeah, I had some pictures last year, and then got some pictures on my wife's phone, my grandkid's phone, some of it. But I throw them hogs away.
Well, if you come across them on the phone, you got my phone number. Just text me one or two of them. Let me look at it. I'd like to see what they look like.
This is let me see that I still have it. Okay.
Would you care if I walk my dog use the bathroom after?
No, go ahead.
And look around?
Go ahead. This is a picture that someone, a hunter took on swamp, Panel Swamp. Yeah, Panel Swamp. And they text me this picture and asked me what I saw that it looked similar to that.
Oh, look at that.
I want to see that.
Well, does it look similar?
It looks similar when you look at the neck and the head of it.
Uh-huh.
It looks very similar.
You mind if I
Go ahead.
record it?
Go ahead.
Would you do me a favor? Will you text this to my phone if I give you my number?
No problem.
I would love to have this picture. This is Panther Swamp.
Mm-hmm.
There's something you want to. Then they sent me a picture with the thing dead on there. Y'all something.
What's your number?
662-590-3876.
Wow.
That's something unusual.
Wow.
Now, and believe it or not, the game warden that came out from Madison to talk with Dennis and I told us what this is a picture of a mangy coyote. And that's the first thing from the truth.
That's not the impression I'm getting.
I ain't ever seen nothing like that.
I don't think they want to fool with them.
Well, I mean,
That's what I think. I think they looking at something they can't believe they
But
want.
I also have a news clip that Channel 12, they used to teach Channel 12 in a hunter in Lena, Mississippi. That's a news clip off Channel 12 that the lady sent to me.
now where's Lena at? It's out here in the Delta, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Lena is, isn't that out 25? Lena, Mississippi?
Hairless creature was killed in Pigtown, a community in Lena, Mississippi. I think Lena's not far from Clarksdale.
I believe it is up that way.
Armed with a .22, when he was coon hunting when he saw something with glowing red eyes in the hay. The beast moved to attack.
That's what it says.
I wouldn't want nothing like that attacking me.
Did y'all send me a picture of one of them things? Didn't you send me a picture? Somebody had killed in Yankee City?
No.
Simpson County. There's a man from Simpson County sent me a picture on my wife's phone. And he had killed one of them, had him laid out. Y'all didn't do that, did you?
No, it wasn't us.
Well, she got it in her phone.
This past Monday, I was at the sheriff's office, and he was briefing his deputies and his staff on these very things. And he told them that they are real, they possibly are dangerous to humans. I guess he had talked to people throughout the state. He said that they're all over the state.
Lena's just south of Carthage.
Okay. well, I don't know why I was thinking Clarksdale, but thank you. Oh my gosh. Now, a fellow told me that there was a man who had a wolf, half German Shepherd. And was it you told me that story? Have you told me that story?
Yeah, that's what they were telling me.
Yeah, right. And it got away near Pickens, right?
Yeah.
And it bred with coyotes. You know, so I wouldn't venture to say what's possible.
That's right.
You know, all kinds of things are possible.
Yeah, one guy told me it wasn't the gang one told me say ain't nothing but a German Shepherd and a hound dog mixed up together. I don't know. I said no, I don't. You know, they be doing that just throw you off so you won't be thinking.
I know this from what I saw.
They don't know.
It's not a German Shepherd.
I know it ain't
It's not a hound dog. It ain't none of that.
I know it ain't.
Now I know what it wasn't. I don't know what it was, but I know what it wasn't.
You know, Karen and I read some reports of people seeing hyenas. They thought they were seeing hyenas.
That's what my wife said when she said, these are hyenas, baby, we don't have hyenas. She said, come look, these are hyenas. But no, it wasn't a hyena either.
There's oh my God, I can't think of the name of it, but one was killed in Montana way back when, and it disappeared for a while. They had it mounted, and it disappeared, and it resurfaced in Pocatello, Idaho, in a museum, and it's similar looking. It was killing a man's farm animals, and he shot it and killed it.
Look at the size of the feet.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Because when you said what you said, the feet looked longer.
I guess I left my phone outside.
And the
I said that
head,
to you already.
the head looks funny.
The head is sort of straight and sort of narrow, but look at the length of his neck. But whatever it is, my wife and I got a close up look at it.
Ah, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Man, we can track it some kind of way. Something needs to go on.
I just thought that's what you seen back there.
That's pretty close to what I seen.
You know that neck is almost as long as a deer's neck.
It is. It is.
So you know,
it's thick and it's solid.
what happens to a person if he's hunting out in those woods by himself and comes across, say, two of these things?
It may not be good.
It may not be good for him.
May not be good.
Because see, in Panther Swamp, a man disappeared way back when. I was a teenager.
I was duck hunting out there that day he disappeared.
They couldn't find it. They took dogs from Parchment and tried to find him. They've never found him.
They are big enough to take you wherever they want to take you.
Yeah.
Trust me. You know, I can guarantee you that the biggest one was about this high to me. And the other one that came out, he was a little bit shorter. He wasn't quite as tall.
Now, how tall are you?
I am 6 feet.
6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll try.
But when you stand and look at some 5 to 10 minutes, you get a good look.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in the shadows.
That's strange right there, man. I just knew for sure that this was going to be a Bigfoot day.
Yeah, well, maybe not.
That's right.
Maybe not. But you have to go where the evidence points you to.
Mm-hmm. That is.
We'll have to put some camera or something out there to track them, because they don't let you close them on.
Well, let me tell you something. If you were a game warden or a law enforcement, now you're talking about, you put them in kind of a little bit of a bind, you know, because they're the people responsible for protecting the neighborhoods, and they're the people responsible for knowing what all's out there, and they get real nervous when there's something going on that they don't know.
They don't want to do it.
I can tell you, when I was at the sheriff's office Monday and he was going over it with his people had pulled pictures of Chupacabra.
Yeah, Chupacabra.
Chupacabra. And when they were passing that picture around, they had put it up there. When they passing that around, the chief deputy, Demetrius, said, when he saw it, he said, I saw one of those.
It was on the backside of ISO.
No, it wasn't the backside. It was on Washington Street in ISO. That's inside the city limits.
Oh, he saw it inside the city limits.
Inside the city limits.
Well, that's where they would go hanging out.
This bayou also turns and go back around to that lake, Dawson Lake. This bayou is, when you get to Isola, this bayou is on one side of that street.
Well, you know Dawson Lake was where the thing screamed at me.
Well, okay, Dawson Lake is right there. This bayou actually runs back to Dawson Lake.
Right, it's going to Dawson Lake.
Dawson Lake is less than a mile. In fact, Dawson Lake is less than a half mile from Isola.
Let me tell you what, it screamed at me. I didn't know whether to run back to my car or run on.
You know, right, because the mound right crawls up from Dawson Lake.
Right.
Sure is. The mound in front, right crawls.
What they call it, the mound. That's the name of the area up there. They call it the mound.
And Dawson Lake, it go right down the side.
Right.
So it's amazing. You start to connect some dots there, and you realize that these river systems and creeks they all interconnect, and they're nothing but highways. For something to travel.
Right.
The cover's there.
Yeah, highways. Right.
Y'all heard any noises? Any screams or noises?
No, we haven't. We haven't heard anything. But I know why we had our dogs.
This was a screech.
And I don't know what happened. Did my dog down to your house?
I don't know. I know them kicked all them cats. Whatever that thing was, we had about 20 or 30 cats. I don't see no more about 5 of them now.
Yeah, all your cats gone. But
yeah, they gone.
We had 2 grown dogs and 8 puppies, and we hadn't saw one. We hadn't saw them in about 3 days.
Hey,
they don't even come to eat.
Do what?
Unlock your truck.
Oh, it's locked? Oh. Sorry, I did that out of habit.
I'm gonna let him use the bathroom.
Go ahead.
It's unlocked.
Look around.
I don't know.
Raining right now, isn't it?
Yeah, not hard enough.
Yeah, well, we're gonna just go ahead and pack it in for the day. If you don't mind, I would like to fly a drone up high and look at the land, the creeks, and get a little bit of a view of it. If it ain't raining, if it's raining, I can't do it.
I don't think it rains that cold. Yeah, it'll rain.
I see water coming off the roof, but that may be
I think that ice sleeping on the roof.
Yeah. All right, sir. Well, we appreciate you.
Hey, we appreciate you stopping by. At least everybody don't think we crazy.
We're gonna stay in touch, right?
Yeah.
And you got my phone number.
I got your phone number.
So if anything else happens, call me. I'll be here, Johnny, on the spot.
Okay.
And when it dries up a little bit, where it's not so muddy, we're gonna get some game cams and stuff out here.
Let me put my jacket on. I want to walk and show you just how close they was to the house.
Sure. Let's do that.